Oh, sweet baby Jesus! What is up, everyone? Conixis here, and welcome back to Shining Song Starnova. Yes, I know, it's been 3 weeks. I'm sorry, but you know how it is! Anyways, I'm trying to just catch my breath. You know, I was playing some good old Zonky Zero, and you know what happened? You know, a certain enemy came back, and I got the living shit scared out of me, so I needed to play something nice and well. You want to know how bad it was? I'll give you a little sample right now.
This thing, right?
Yeah, so, don't know which episode is going up first, this or the other, but probably this one because everyone loves Starnova, but you know, Jesus, Lord in heaven, the one day I decided to go back to recording again, I was like, well, I gotta get some Zaki, and I haven't gotten anything of that in quite a while, and what happens? I get the living shit scared out of me, so that's all fun and games, and good shit, and sunshines, and rainbows, and oh boy, I love it so much, best game ever, so good, come back to get my shit scared. Anyways, that's not the point, we're here at Starnova. I was playing this to calm down. Holy hell! It was his well, let me recap. Last time we established that what's going on with this live action, black, song thing, well, I don't remember what it was called. It's been quite a minute. Anyways, but you know what I'm saying, like, the whole, thing with Mika's anime, it's not what she liked, like, it's not what it's turning out when she thought it was going to be, and it's just some big fan service panty shot, shower scene shit. Even Kyle was like, I can't do this is awful, like, come on, man, like, yeah, so, the whole thing with Black Song, it's just not going good. So, I don't know how Mika's gonna handle this, and I don't know how we're gonna handle this as a whole, but now we're listening to a story from the director, so let's get to it. It was his big directional debut at the helm of the television series Lady Nohime of the Viper. It had always been Sato-san's dream. Oh no, this is the director. I gotta read it old man style. It has always been Sato-san's dream to create a historical fictional drama. So this job was like a dream come true for him. Back then, he was a passionate man who sought to leave his mark in the annals of history by creating the world's next masterpiece. But I suppose every young man enters this industry with big dreams, full of hope. The girl cast as Lady Nohime was actually one of Shining Productions' biggest talents at the time, so this television show was also a must-win for me as well. If I recall correctly, she might have had quite a resemblance to Mika-chan here, both in body and mind. She was a great big romantic who adored the glamour and beauty of historical fiction. But of course, it's not as if the television studio executives were willing to give a newbie director much of a budget to fill his aspirations. You know these shows are always a risky investment for companies, and the higher-ups didn't really have much faith in Sato-san, so they weren't willing to invest much in him. But did he try his best to create his samurai epic? He worked around the clock, 7 days a week, to make his creation a success. He handled the entire post-production by himself for no pay in order to pull all the money he had into the cast and crew. He even choreographed stunts, wrote the entire script, and even helped out with the set design for all for the sake of his dream. You see, Sato-san really gave his entire life for the sake of his Lady Nohime. He must have been exhausted, angry, hopeful, and desperate, all at the same time. But in the end, it was really impossible to create a samurai epic on such a shoestring budget. He had become so enamored with the beautiful vision he sought to give a tangible form that he failed to grasp the reality of the situation. His staff was exhausted from overwork. His cast members were all inexperienced and unknown. And then, Amaterasu Television released another star-studded, massively budgeted historical epic at the same season that Lady Nohime aired. There was no way Sato-san's small passion project could compete in this comparison to that. In the end, Lady Nohime of the Viper was derided by the masses and quickly forgotten. You would think Sato-san would have quit being a director after that, but you know what he said to me? That was shit. Seriously, a steaming pile of shit. But next time, I'm gonna make something totally incredible. I didn't even really know much about how this stuff worked this time around, but thanks to Lady Nohime, I managed to figure out a bunch of things. But, just you wait, Okada-san. The next time one of your talents ends up in my work, she's gonna be a star. They'll sing songs about her for ages, I swear it. So that's the story of how I worked with Sato-san on, the ill-fated Lady Nohime of the Viper. Even though the project turned out pretty poorly for all parties involved, I now remember it fondly as colorful time filled with excitement. Mika wiped tears of inspiration from her eyes. Sato-san was the one hurting the most all this time. I don't know why I clicked. I've totally changed my opinion of him. So, this was the story of what happened the last time Shining Productions worked with Sato-san, huh? I had no idea. Oh, I'm sure Sato-san never forgot about what happened with Lady Nohime, and what he promised to me in its aftermath. Even though the situation is no better today than it was 20 years ago, I still believe there still lies a spark in him that has laid dormant all this time. To this day, despite everything he says, he still wants to create that masterpiece of the ages. You need only rekindle that small spark deep in his heart. Oh, I see! A hidden promise long forgotten, a second chance for a miraculous comeback. I'm already seeing the ending of this story. Well, I do believe Starnova was always intended to be a comeback story, wasn't it? Well, intentional or otherwise, the people really do like a comeback story. Producer-san, let's go to Sato-san and remind him of his promise to our president. He must still certainly remember it to this day. Surely he wants the Black Opera, the live action, to be a success more than any of us. If we can bring Sato-san on board, then maybe we can save the project. Alright, I understand. After all, Sato-san made a promise to Okada-sensei, didn't he? He was going to make the next talent from Shining Productions into a star. At this rate, we might not even be able to finish the production on the live action before the cast and crew walk off the set. We've got to turn this battle around. Who cares about the production committee and its execs? If enough people on ground combine their efforts, we might be able to turn this situation into a huge success story. Ah! Alright, I'm with you on this. Sylvia Knight song. Black Knight! For the Black Song! Hell yeah, we got this, and then it's gonna get bad, and because, oh, you did this and that, and you weren't supposed to do that. It's all about the moolah. Fuck you, Conixis. Okay, the next day we spoke to Sato-san together. Sincerely, I'm begging you, Sato-san. Please make your promise to Okada-san a reality. Please turn Mika into a star. Please, make it true. You guys. That was seriously a long time ago, you know? That old Tanuki, going and spilling the beans about my embarrassing backstory to my coworkers. Excuse me, Sato-san. What's it now? On behalf of Moonshot Productions, the other manager also bowed his head beside Mika and I second the request. Please, at this rate, the production's going to fall apart unless we take new direction here. Oi, Kao-kun, bow your head too! Please, I don't want to say those things to Hashimoto-san anymore. I can't even sleep anymore because I get nightmares about some of the things I do. Please, can't we just make a more normal television show? You know this situation isn't really up to me either. But by now, the rest of the crew had gathered around us as well. Man, I was actually a fan of Black Opera before this. It'd be nice if we could make a meaningful contribution to the original work. Mr. Director, why can't we make something worthwhile for a change? Would the execs even notice if we made some changes for the better? Hey, you folks are just asking for trouble with this line of thought. Please, for the sake of the artists everywhere, make Black Opera into a success. Sato put a cigarette in his mouth and wandered over to the set where the tentacle contraption was still rigged up for the day's shoot. Give us a good TNA show, they say. This shit sells like hotcakes, huh? Well, here's what I say to that. He grabbed the fold-up chair and smashed it against the tentacle contraption. Fuck them all! Metallic banging echoed through the set as Sato repeatedly smashed a chair against the steel frame holding the rubber tentacles, until finally the unfortunate thing was reduced to a pile of broken pieces on the floor. Sato continued to lash out his pent-up frustration on the writhing tentacle on the floor, stomping them until they were thoroughly stamped with imprints of his shoe sole. After satisfactorily taking out his anger on the fake tentacles, he turned to face us with a new fire burning in his eyes. Oi, you guys, if anyone asks, we found the tentacle thing knocked over and smashed to pieces when we all arrived to work this morning. Got it? Understood! We've got barely 2 fucking months until the show airs, and at this rate, we're gonna have a bunch of reshoots. All of you are gonna be working double time from now to make this project a success. You hear? I don't want to hear any belly aching now that you've gone and got this old man fired up. Sir! Now let's get to work! Oh, hell yeah, we putting on a real Black Opera route! After that, the cast and crew of Black Opera live action worked day and night to make the project a success. The script was being rewritten on the very set, moments before the shoot. Luckily, it turned out numerous staff members were already huge fans of Black Opera and already had strong understanding of the original story. The budding idol cast as the main heroine of the series was no exception, of course. For this scene, Night Song would say something like nothing. More like nothing, instead of going into an exposition into her motives. In Kurosawa-sensei's work, what remains unsaid is as important as what is spoken. Night Song's primary appeal is her mystery, after all. It's her innate, quiet solitude which makes people wonder just what tragedy must have befallen her to cause her to get a scarlet mark. She may be the heroine, but you don't really know much about her until the later chapters. I see, the silent, sad heroine, huh? That certainly does make sense. Pardon me. Oh, good to see you back to normal, Kyle-kun. What's up? Please, don't let my fans know, but I'm quite a big fan of Black Opera as well. Oh, Kyle! Oh, we got all the fans here! Many people characterize Lightwind as embodying the pent-up anger many men feel against women, but I don't think Kurosawa-sensei intended such a character at all. Despite being at first introduced as a vain and egotistical man, at first, you later find out that he generally regrets ever getting his scarlet mark. In fact, his folly is that by pledging his life to the Akai Oni to gain the power to seduce any woman, he could never ever be loved again. It's only when he meets Night Song that he realizes there existed a woman who cared for him all along. Damn. Everybody needs that woman that cared for them all along. Damn! Some heartfelt shit! Everybody gotta find themselves that true waifu! Anyways, I don't think he would ever do such villainous things like trying to rape her with tentacles or anything. Oh. I see. So a story of redemption for a man who was lonely from the very beginning, huh? I'm starting to see why so many people like this work. It certainly sounds like the kind of thing I'd enjoy making. It's been a while since I felt like this. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it already. Let's make this thing the way it was supposed to be. Oh! And then we fail because we don't get it in time, and then we die. And bad end. Because why not? It's nighttime. Wait a minute. Let's keep it PG. It's the beginning of the episode! Anyways, I walked home with Mika after another night of shooting. Once again, she was back to her chipper mood and skipping alongside me while humming to herself. Hey, producer-san, it looks like the show's finally beginning to come together. It's a lot of work, but honestly, I think I like the show better this way, don't you think? After all, Kurosawa-sensei worked day and night to make Black Opera into what it is today. We can't stay in the world of Black Opera with a mediocre release after all. It's really like a dream. Mika? To tell the truth, I was in a really bad place once. A bunch of people were picking on me in high school, and I didn't have anyone to back me up. A lot of bad things happened before I ended up a shut-in, and I thought about giving up a lot of times. But Black Opera kept me going because my worries seem small in comparison to Night Song's struggles, don't they? In the end, Night Song's a tragic heroine who never belonged anywhere. She was abandoned by her people because she was born differently from everyone else. She had to wander by herself for so long until her emotions disappeared. Somehow, I felt my own struggles reflected in her story. Even though it was just a story, I eventually convinced myself it was true, because even if the events in the manga never happened, I still believed in the message. I'm really glad I got to be Night Song in this production. It's almost like destiny, isn't it? I'd say. I can't let everyone down. After all Black Opera has done for me, I have to carry this project to the finish line. Yeah. Funnily enough, a long time ago I was really into manga and anime too. But I guess, like Lightwind, I eventually reached the age when I wanted to be noticed by the opposite sex. I realized that being an otaku wasn't considered hot and was forced to hide my interest in such things. Damn, this is just life. I guess Black Opera really is relatable to many young people in the end. I gave up part of who I was just to be able to fit into society. Still, a part of me always loved that subculture, so I ended up returning to it as an idol producer in the end. I think that's what makes working in this industry different from being a salaryman. You can't just survive on money alone. You gotta believe in what you're making. As expected, a producer-san. But we're not anywhere near the finish line yet. We've still got weeks of shooting left, not to mention PR event for the show coming up soon. Indeed, my schedule's gotten rather hectic lately, but I shall hold strong for the sake of the Black Song. Yeah, hang in there, Mika. Oh! Good shit. Pure shit. That's the kind of shit I like. Good, pure shit. December 12th, 2017. As the date of the live action's grand premiere approached, we held another handshake event at Akihabara to hype up the fans. So far, so good. The tickets had sold out in merely 2 days, buoying up my hopes that the show was going to be a hit. Mika smiled and laughed along with her fans as the event continued, now the very image of a professional idol. Beside her, Kao had handled an equally long line of female fans. A heavy-set man approached Mika and shook her hand over-enthusiastically. Yep. Hashimoto Mika-sama! It's, my honor to meet you. My name is Ogawa Kyosuke. I've been a fan of Black Opera forever. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the show. Indeed, I've been a fan ever since the manga began serializing as well. It looked like the handshake event was proceeding without any problems, but I couldn't let my guard yet. Recently, there had been a spat of incidents happening at handshake events. While these special events had mushroomed in popularity and driven unprecedented amount of money for the music industry, they were beginning to attract negative attention as well. Of course, much of the negativity was blown out of proportion. The media always depicted otaku in a bad light, so wherever a small incident occurred, the papers always blamed the industry as a whole. It was always just a few bad apples giving the rest of us a bad name. I continued my patrols, keeping vigilant eye on anyone who might be here to stir up trouble. And another gentleman with long hair shook hands with Mika. Mika-chan, I'm a big fan of Black Opera. The best of luck for your big television debut. Thank you very much. As a longtime fan of Sylvia Nightsong, I shall do my best to bring her to life on the television screen as well. In your mini blog, you said that episode 32, when she gains the power of music, is your favorite episode, didn't it? Is it true that Nightsong joining an idol unit influenced your decision to become an idol as well? It's thanks to Nightsong that I stand before you right now. To think Black Opera had such an important influence. Mika-chan, do your very best! I won't give up! No! I saw you, bitch! No! Why are you here? I thought you were obsessed with Julie! God damn it! Unexpectedly, I saw a shadow cross the edge of my vision. Ah, fuck! I thought that man was obsessed with Julie. We haven't seen him since her story. Why are you obsessed with Mika now? Ah, shit. I spun around and saw a suspicious individual whose face was obscured by a black Ray's hoodie. He didn't seem like he was in line. Could he have come here to raise trouble? I approached him and spoke in the most unauthoritative voice I could muster. Yes, well, that's a voice. Pardon me, but can I confirm your ticket for this event? Ticket? This is a ticketed event, sir. If you don't have one, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the event floor. Whatever, I'm leaving. With that, he ran out, pushing a bunch of guys in line. With that, he ran out, pushing a bunch of guys in line in front of him out of the way. Get out of my way! Oi! Who was he? Just a random guy just trying to sneak in? Some people really had no sense of decency. Having kicked the trespasser out, my job here was finished. No, it's never done. This man is dangerous. This man is very, very dangerous. I resumed my patrol, keeping my eyes out for any troublemakers. This man is very, very dangerous. The rest of the event passed without any further problems. We left the event space and went outside for our ride back to the office. Okay. I'm about to say, is Mr. Man waiting out here? No, okay. But you never know. It's still too soon. We're waiting for our ride so this man can roll up with his switchblade and hack us to pieces. Anyways, it's gotten pretty cold. I looked up into the winter sky. You got that right. The end of the year's here. So much has happened. People really do count time as a measure of all things they've experienced, huh? I feel like I've been producing Starnova for a decade now. In reality, it's been less than a year. I was a totally different person around this time last year. It's really amazing how much I've changed. I guess I have Producer Son to thank for that. I was just a chuny shut-in, and yet you let me into your idol group and even made me the center. Nobody's ever believed in me before. Even my own parents figured I would be a human failure for the rest of my life. And to tell the truth, I didn't believe in myself either. Everything I ever did seemed to go wrong somehow. No matter what it was, I felt like I always managed to fumble and let my chances slip through my fingers. I stopped believing in myself entirely and just hid in my apartment, too scared to do anything. But you know, it's times like that when anime saved me. Otherwise, I would never have tried to re-enter society again. You could say, in the end, my desire to become Night Song was too strong to resist for, too long. Mika, you really have grown a lot in the past year, haven't you? I feel like I've learned more in my years of being an idol than I have the whole rest of my life. All you had to do was find something you were passionate about. And I know a lot of people who don't do well in school, who find a job they really love and then suddenly they become amazing. As your producer, I'm glad that you're happy. Mika lowered her head and closed her eyes in expectation. Not here, Mika. Too many people would see. Oh, Producer San's a meanie. It's for your own good. Well, it'd really be bad if rumors began to spread that you were in love with your producer. I mean, you act like that's not the truth. That's the exact story, sort of story that the tabloids would go berserk over. I don't even want to imagine the amount of trouble it would raise. Just then, the cab arrived to take us home. And there was no problems whatsoever. We got in the cab and go home. Here it is. Let's get in before you catch a cold. Good. Good. I don't like that Mr. Man is back after all this time. Mika absentmindedly looked out the window as we rode in cab back to Mika's apartment.
Hey, producer-san,
Yeah?
do you think Mika has appeal?
Huh? What are you asking? Of course I do. Truckloads of appeal. All of your fans love you, and you're the center of Starnova. In fact, I don't even know why you'd even be asking me this right now.
It's the first time I've ever felt like I have appeal too. Maybe I'm just a spoiled idol now, but lately I feel like I've gotten just a little bit prettier.
Of course, Mika. Well, you were plenty pretty to begin with, so there's no need for you to doubt yourself.
It makes me happy to hear producer-san say that.
While it was true that a producer could end up spoiling his talents with too much praise, I felt like Mika was in need of more affirmation compared to the other girls. After all, she wasn't cut from the usual idol stock. Usually, girls signed up to be idols with some pre-existing confidence about their looks and abilities. However, for Mika, I felt like she had became an idol seeking to change herself. Do you think you're where you wanted to be when you decided to become an idol? I hope I met your expectations as a producer.
To tell the truth, I never expected any of this. Becoming popular, being selected as the center, being cast as Night Song. I don't know what I wanted when I decided to be an idol. I think I would have been plenty satisfied with just dancing in the back before a small audience of supporters. Besides, I don't think my expectations of producer-san is really like that. What am I saying?
Mika, something the matter?
Mika wants...
Just then the cab came to a stop. Looks like we're here. You worked hard today. Here, you've earned this. I reached over and gave Mika a good rub on the top of the head. However, Mika didn't seem satisfied by it anymore. Did you graduate from Papa? God damn it, I haven't said that word in so long. Did you graduate from Papa Papas now too?
That's not it. That's not it at all, producer-san.
Anyways, it's gotten really late now. I better be getting home myself. Have a good night, Mika. With that, I shooed Mika out of the cab.
Hey, producer.
See you.
Good night, producer-san.
With that, I closed the door of the cab shut. Mika waved and turned around for her apartment as I was driven away. That was close. I never knew how dangerous the big round eyes of a maiden were. I felt my heart rate accelerate like I was climbing up a huge roller coaster. So did this mean that Mika had a crush on me, her producer? Well, I guess something like that was a man's romance, alright. But I also knew that it was a relationship I couldn't even enter into. After all, she was an idol and I was her producer. Mika had a shining career ahead of her, giving hope to millions of lonely guys out there in the universe. As her producer, I had no right to take that dream away and force her to give up becoming a star idol for my sake. Maybe you ever think that maybe that's all Mika wants? Maybe her dream isn't to become a shining star, but just to have something nice, somebody to hold on to and to care about. Something sweet. Nothing too serious, you know, just something simple. A nice quiet life with someone you care about. Wow, sentimental shit. Just when 30 minutes ago I was screaming at Shadowmen. Anyways, we were all grown-ups now. I wasn't a stupid teenager with big romantic dreams of finding true love or something anymore. Now, I was old enough to understand that these things didn't always work out. Yeah, Mika had to focus on her path to success, and I had to focus on mine. Those two roads were parallel to each other, but could never intersect. For that was the greatest rule for a budding idol and her producer. Besides, I had quit Golden Cap because I hated working alongside shady producers who preyed on the naivete of young girls who thought they were pretty and in love. I thought you got fired. Guys like that just use girls like tissue paper and toss them away once they were done with them. I could never treat Mika like that. But really, I folded my arms behind my head and closed my eyes. It would have been nice if we had met in some other place and time. Yeah. That'd be nice. You would have had your otaku girlfriend and you guys would have been set. The girls had gathered for an increasingly rare joint practice session. With Mika constantly away for television shoots and each of the other girls handling their own jobs, they had been seeing each other less often. Yeah, I'm about to say, this story is really Mika focused, and I like that it is, but at the same time, where are the other girls at? But yeah, this one, her story feels more focused on her, rather than the other girls' stories. The other girls' stories were like, kind of, you know, combined. Anyways, after practice, Mika sighed and walked off by herself. The girls craned their necks and watched as Mika left the dance studio and squatted down in the stairway. From there, she stared outside blankly with her face resting on her hand, looking not quite sad, but not quite happy either. The girls retreated back into the dance studio and spoke in hushed tones while huddled around each other.
Oi, what's wrong with Mika? Could it be that she's having trouble with her job? Maybe it's just indigestion.
Oh,
It's obviously not that!
it's obviously love.
Oi, keep your voices down! What if she hears us? But Judy-chan in love? I should have known something like this would have happened. It's obvious from that look on her face.
A young maiden's first love, huh? What's that little brat doing making that face for? Making me feel old.
But who? Could it be?
There's only one guy it could be, right?
The forbidden love of between an idol and her producer, huh? It really seems like something out of a fairy tale. So you mean... No way!
I forgot about you, Neville! Oh, shit! Oh, talk about being intimidated and scared! Forgot about that side of you! We don't got that taken care of in this universe! Oh, shit! Anyways,
No matter how you look at it, Chuni-chan's just setting herself up for disappointment, you know. A workaholic like producer-san hooking up with one of his idols? There's no way something like that would ever happen.
after all, Mika's our center, right? And she's got a bright future ahead of her. Our producer's not the kind of guy who would let her give something that important up just so he can score with one of his idols.
I suppose Maria's right. Our producer's an upstanding guy, right? I don't think he took advantage of Mika's feelings. We should support Mika-chan's feelings. It's a little surprising, but she's our friend.
Oi, don't look at me. It's not like I care about who ends up with that guy. Mika can date him for all I care, or not. Jesus Christ, that's some hardcore soon.
Indeed. It simply cannot be helped. Love truly comes in the most unexpected places. No matter what happens, we must all focus on becoming idols, no? Nemo's got it right. Besides, this is Mika-yan we're talking about. We gotta support her in this.
I'm telling you, a relationship like that's just not in the cards here.
One-sama has got a point. This is probably Chuni-chan's first love, right? People make huge deals about first love and all that, but in reality, it's not like the vast majority of people find their one the first time they fall in love. Most of the time, first loves end up bittersweet story of big and naive expectations and unfulfilled emotions.
Oh boy, ain't you right, Aki? Oh, especially when you're cheated on. That's some good shit indeed. Fucking love life. Anyways,
it's just a lot of girls grow into, it's just how a lot of girls grow into women. Our drill sergeant Lily sure has become, or sure can be unexpectedly mature from time to time. Oh, well, I'm not claiming to particularly have experience myself with this kind of stuff. Just repeating what I heard from the grown-ups. What I've heard grown-ups saying. If you say so. Anyway, this is no doubt a sensitive time for Mika-chan. Let's all support her love from the shadows and give her a big group hug if she ends up heartbroken. Alright, now time to prepare the chocolate and ice cream buckets. Maybe I can give her some of...
No. Julie, stop.
Maybe I can give her some of my toys if things don't work out.
Of course we're not doing that, you dumbass! As expected of the top bitch of Starnova, eh? Yeah, whatever. I was just joking. Come on, I gotta lighten the mood here somehow. Oh boy. Mika sat on a fold-up chair wearing the exact same expression as the staff readied the set.
Should I tell producer Sato about my feelings? No. No way. There's no way I could ever do something that crazy. My heart wouldn't be able to take the pressure. But then, does that mean that these feelings are gonna stay pent up in my chest forever? I don't want that either. Neither option's appealing at all. I don't know what to do.
Suddenly she heard a crusty old man's voice beside her. What's the matter, little missy? Something weighing on your mind? Ha! Mika nearly fell backwards in her chair in shock. Oops, my bad. Didn't mean to surprise you there.
Mr. Director.
You don't need to call me that, you know. I'd hate to be like your poor producer and end up losing his name to his job title.
Then, Sato-san, that doesn't quite feel right either.
Then why don't you call me Sato-kun?
No!
Should have figured.
Sato the old man.
What was that?
That's what I'm gonna call you from now on. I thought it was most fitting.
Oh, give me a break here.
No, I've decided.
There's no helping you. So, are you gonna tell this old man what's on your mind?
It concerns a private matter.
Ah. You remind me a bit of someone. She used to be a talent at Shining too. Had her for my first big job, you know. Lady
Nohime of the Viper.
Oh, so you know of it.
I never heard of it before, but President Okada told me.
Hey, you sure know how to break an old man's heart. Well, my Nohime was a real character, you see. She was the only person on the set who was as passionate about the project as I was. Heck, she might have even been more gung-ho about it than I was. She had always dreamed of being the princess in a historical epic, you see. She'd be all in everyone's business, meddling in things unrelated to her job, trying to get the show as perfect as possible. At the time, we all thought we were working on this to make it or break it masterpiece. Didn't turn out at all like we all expected, though.
It was a big failure.
You could say that. In the end, I let her down. I let everyone down. But that's just how things turn out sometimes, though.
What's the point of telling me this?
Just felt like chatting with you for a bit, that's all. Well, it's not every day I get an idol on set, you know. Throw this old man a break here. Anyways, things will be different this time. I ain't gonna let you down, I swear.
What are you doing, throwing around big promises like that, old man Sato?
Sorry. Looks like we're ready to get the film rolling again. Anyways, lighten up, Night Song. The picture's not gonna look as good with you lovesick. With your lovesick face plastered all over the film. What, you thought I didn't know?
Sato the old man! So, what happened between you and this lady Nohime?
That? Ended up marrying her. I have 2 kids. Oh, good for you, Sato! Damn! I have 2 kids now. Let's get moving. This show's not gonna make itself, you know.
Okay.
Good for you, Sato. Proud. I finished my phone call and returned to the set while everyone was in the middle of filming. Mika stood facing Kyle on top of an elaborate rocky set made from paper mache. Kyle delivered Lightwind's lines with grandiose bluster. Once again, you thwart me. But why have you followed me here?
Carl's Lightwind, so this is your dreamscape. What is this? I sense...
Don't dare look further! These are...
sadness, grief. So you...
Do not pretend to understand me, woman! Submit! Lightwind raised his hand. Fans turned on off screen, rustling Mika's wig.
Carl's Lightwind, you have failed.
No, submit! You will submit!
Is that your true desire, to surround yourself with mirrors? I see. You sought to be accepted too. But what you received was not love, but merely the echoes of your own words. A vain man seeks to hear his own words from all around him, but you are not such a man.
Silence! What do you... Suddenly, Kyle appeared to lose his footing on the rocks. Before anyone could react, the papier-mâché rocks below him gave out, and he tumbled halfway into the elevated set. The staff member rushed onto the set to free Kyle from the collapsed stage. Two men managed to grab hold of him by the arms and dig him out. God, what the hell happened? Oi, are you alright? Can you move your legs? Shit! Call an ambulance right away. We're taking him to the hospital. Understood. I rushed to Mika's side as well and held her by the shoulders. It's not bad, but I think I twisted my ankle on the way down. Meanwhile, Kyle's manager was sweating bullets while tearing his own hair out. This is seriously bad. Can you stand? Can you walk? Staff helped Kyle up, but he could barely take a step before staggering back down. Sorry, Manager-san, but... this is just... Hey everyone, let's get Kyle-kun outside. The ambulance should be on the way. Sir! Uh-oh. The staff waited in the hallway as Sato and the Moonshot production manager spoke with the doctor. After receiving the prognosis, my bad, the two of them returned to us. Luckily the injury's not too serious. Kyle-kun's ankle should be fully healed within about 7 to 10 days of bed rest. Luckily he's still young and healthy, so it doesn't look like he'll have a problem making full recovery if he stays in the hospital. But that's still a big problem for us, isn't it? We still have 5 more days of shooting left before we can begin post-production. And with the schedule this tight, we've got to finish the rest of the shoots in the next 5 days or else the show will be canceled.
No way!
I'm sorry, everyone.
So we have to shoot the rest of the scenes without Carl's Lightwind? That's impossible! His role is pivotal! Without Lightwind, there would be no Black Opera!
Is there a way, Sato-san? I mean, producer-san, you can do it. God damn it! Alright, everyone, calm down. Stuff like this happens sometimes in productions.
So, there is a way?
Nah, I don't really know either. But let's calm down and think. Yeah, anyways, let's get back to the studio and put our heads together. We're just causing a scene here.
Okay.
We returned to the set, but the gravity of the situation remained. Thanks to the unforeseen circumstances, we had just lost the show's male lead. It was obvious to everyone that without both Night Song and Lightwind, a complete telling of Black Opera was simply not in the cards. And due to us already having spent so much time reworking our initial work, there was absolutely no way we could delay production any further by waiting for Kyle to recover. In other words, this was checkmate. Shit, but everyone had worked so hard to make Black Opera a success. I think everything would fall apart at the last moment because of an accident like this. Mika's body was twitching uncontrollably with nervousness, and she looked like she was on the verge of passing out.
What do we do? What do we do? What would Night Song do?
Mika. Sato-san, could we possibly get a replacement for Kyle-kun? We could get a stand-in and then record Kyle-kun's voice in post-production and dub it in. Sure, it'd have to be someone who is a dead ringer for Kyle-kun. Not only that, but someone who's available right at this moment with experience in acting.
But we do have someone like that here.
Huh? Who?
Producer-san!
I looked around in confusion. Yeah, I knew it. What, Mika? Don't hold me in suspense. Who's this a serious talent? You.
Producer-san himself!
I pointed at myself in disbelief.
What? Me? Didn't Producer-san say he once worked as an entertainer?
Oi, Mika, that was seriously years ago. I was nearly a decade younger than I am now. Besides, I appreciate your vote of confidence, but there's no way you can pass off my face as that of a high schooler like Kaio-kun.
There is a way! Lightwind's mask. You just need to keep it on for your scenes. Nobody will notice with half your face obscured, and once we record all the footage, we can have Kyle dub in his voice in post-production.
Boy. Alright, it's our best shot. We're gonna have to do it. You gotta be kidding me.
It's seriously been years since I quit being an entertainer. Sato-san, I'm just a producer now.
No, you're not. As of this moment, you're Carl's Lightwind. Besides, it seems like you've got good chemistry with our female lead. Give it your best shot. Oh, what the hell? It's not like we had any other choice at this stage. It was either do or die. I gulped and nodded in my head. Alright, if this was what's necessary to make everyone's dreams a reality, I'll give it my all as well. Alright, everyone, looks like we found our Carl's Lightwind. Costume, makeup, get to work right away. We don't have a moment to lose. Sir! With that, I was rushed into the change room. This was seriously nuts. Can we get to see me? I want to see what he looks like. The staff gathered around me as I re-emerged as Lightwind.
Oh!
Not bad. You used to be a talent at Shining 2 or something? It's a long story. Well, maybe you can tell me over a round of drinks one day. Listen up, everyone. Even though this isn't how we thought this project was going to end up, we've got to do everything we can to ensure we stay on our schedule. Everyone, I'll be in your care. Even though I'm just a producer now, I'll try my best to fulfill your expectations.
Producer-san, you can do it. You can be Carl's Lightwind.
With that, the staff rushed to work to make up for the lost time due to Kyle's stage accident. I walked up the rocky cliff with Mika.
Producer-san, maybe this was destiny that you be the one I filmed this scene with.
Night Song's confrontation with Lightwind, the revelation of Nightwind's past, and the beginning of the greatest love in history of Japanimation. Wait. Oh, Mika was talking! I thought that was like him talking his inner dialogue, goddammit.
I'm unworthy to take part in such a legendary production, but I'll give it my all to make it a success. Sylvia Night Song, Black Opera. I can't screw this one up. This will be the final battle to decide everything up to this point.
Yeah, we've all worked hard to make this project. We ran into so many roadblocks and had to do so many crazy things to get this far. To think I'd be impressed into service again. After so many years. Alright, Mika, for just today, I'm not gonna be your producer. Come, Night Song, for I am Carl's Lightwind, seducer of women, conqueror of worlds. Let us carve this night into the annals of history. Annals of history, I don't know. Alright, everyone, ready? Lights, camera, action! With that, I was transported into a different world, a world of dark magic, a world of epic, grand life or death battles to determine the fate of the world.
Carl's Lightwind!
You fool, to chase me into my realm! My powers are only stronger here. Submit! Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, look at this action. Look at the action going on here, guys. The action. Anyways, goddammit. Lightwind marched toward Night Song with a scarlet mark in his palm outstretched. Just like all those before you, you shall be mine. Here in my dreamscape, not even you can resist my scarlet mark.
No, Lightwind. Is this truly what you seek?
What?
To be surrounded with puppets, echoing your own words forever. To stare at your own reflection, but to never achieve what you sought all this time?
Wench, what do you know? Orbs of light materialized before Lightwind's cape. To be mocked, to be ridiculed! Submit! He launched orbs of light, sending them spiraling toward Night Song.
Heaven's Pistol!
A massive claymore materialized in Night Song's hand.
Not yet, Lightwind!
She cleaved the orbs in half, disappearing in an enormous cloud of rocks and dirt. From within the cloud she burst forth, scattering it to the winds. Ha! Night Song! He drew his crimson saber and leaped out of Night Song's unbreakable charge. Time and time again you've thwarted me, but tonight shall be your end! Anyways, he summoned a dozen more orbs and sent them spewing at Night Song. She too took to the skies and ducked and weaved through the assault. Just before the two met, Lightwind deflected her blade. With a kick to her gut, he sent her momentarily backwards. Behold, light of judgment! He raised his outstretched hand to the skies and summoned an enormous orb of white energy. It sparked and boomed as it mushroomed to the size of a small house above him. Be cleansed, Black Witch! He dropped the orb below him, devouring Night Song in its light. The orb rumbled down to the Badlands below, carving a mammoth new crater into the earth, as it exploded with a fury of mass extinction event. Did she fall? No. From above? Ha! Lightwind craned his neck and sat Night Song above him. Her heaven pistol in hand. Oh, Lord of Darkness, grant me this power! Heaven's pistol! She swung her claymore down as it extended in a length of 10-fold. Ha! Night Song! Lightwind raised his crimson saber in defense, but it was futile against her massive claymore. Ah! He crashed into the rocks below. When he looked up amid the dust, he saw Night Song standing over him, her claymore at the ready. Impossible for you to dodge the light of judgment! For how much longer must we fight? Did you not say that we could be classmates? So you still seek friendship after all that has happened? It's not too late. Together we can still break! Naive! Light of choker? Okay, light choker seems like it would have been better, but hey. Light of choker! Ah! Oh, look at them chains. Oh shit. Chains of light appeared and wrapped themselves around Night Song's limbs and neck. Down! Night Song fell on her back and the chains tightened. Lightwind stood over her. Their positions unexpectedly reversed at the last moment. Indeed. Maybe we could be friends, Night Song. Sorry for that slight interruption. Anyways, maybe we could join together. Fight whoever mastermind this mad curse. But there's one thing you failed to consider. I am a foul man! I held women against their will. I toyed with their hearts. I faked all the happiness that was to be had in my life. All through this hand. He raised that palm which had been cursed all those years ago with the scarlet mark and had given him the power of seduction. So I was a fool. So I was but a pawn. But I cannot change my ways now. For this is what I have become. Me, the Scourge! No. Fear not. Soon you shall be happily at my side. Submit! Lightwind pressed his palm before Night Song's face, his mark glowing the color of their blood. No! This was never the reality you wanted! What? Lightwind, no! Yuji would never have desired the power to turn women into his lovers! Silence! How dare you utter that name! Yuji is dead! I am Carl's Lightwind! In reality, you just wanted your mother. Your mother who never touched you as you grew up. Who never took you to elementary school. Who never spoke the kind words to you when you were down. All you wanted was her to notice you. Lies! Filthy lies! I am Carl's Lightwind, defiler of women, scourge of eternal, and you shall not subvert me, Night Song! No, you have already lost. Night Song's arm broke free of the chains. Because you're crying. She touched his face and ran her fingers through the tears flowing down his mask.
This is the truth of your power. You are no seducer, merely a child who grew into a man without the love of his mother.
No! No! Lies! But his chains of light shattered as if they were made of ice. Nightsong picked herself up, but she did not strike him down. Instead, she wrapped her arms around him.
Poor child. You were so lonely all this time.
No! Ah! With that, Lightwind's mask shattered, and he crumbled into Nightsong's arms.
Fear not. From now on, we'll be together. Two lost souls wandering the night. Our fight has only just begun.
Cut! Sato's words suddenly shook me out of my delusion. What was that? For a moment there, it really felt like I was in the world of black opera. It really felt like I had become Carl's Lightwind. Could this be what they call the magic of cinema? Mika was still wrapped around me. Mika, we're done with the take now. With that, Mika leaped off of me and looked around nervously before taking a deep breath. And then, before I knew it, she was back to her usual self.
That was incredible! This is the movies. This is drama. So this is drama. Producer son, I'm glad it could be you. Good job!
With that, Mika giggled to herself and she gave me a thumbs up. She sure could be cute, huh? Yeah. I guess there won't be any problems filming the rest of the scenes with our producer son then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get this show on air, old man Sato.
Who are you calling an old man? Alright, now time for the next scene. Come on, get those bodies moving. Understood. Hey, happy good times and shit. Yeah. I was Karo's Lightwind. I was playing my role. Finally, since it's almost an hour, we'll call it there. We end on a good, happy note. And watch next time, like in 2 minutes, when I start the episode, they're gonna fuck. I just know it. So, save there. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you like this, hit the thumbs up button and save it to your favorites. Also, share with your friends. This has been Conixis. You can follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.